Hey, hey, happy lunar eclipse in Libra. You already know, or maybe not. My name's Latoya of Remote Astrology, and today I'm going to share with you what this eclipse is all about. This is the beginning of eclipse season, and I don't know about you, but I am already seeing it, the signs, already feeling it, and yeah, I don't know if I want to rush through it because, if you rush, you don't get the lesson, but I definitely am feeling it, and I'm just kind of like, okay. But anyways, so today we're going to talk about specifically the Libra lunar eclipse and what that's all about. And so my mission with this talk is to help you understand it so that it's easier for you to navigate this season and to even surrender to the massive changes that that comes about with the eclipses. Um, the story continues. So what happened in October 2023, it continues. So think back on, the major changes that has happened for you. Some might have changed jobs, maybe you've moved, maybe, you're studying something new. So whatever has happened around October that was pretty significant, it's developing even more with the eclipses because in October we had the solar eclipse in Libra. And if you want to go back and get some insight on that, definitely check out my playlist on here on YouTube, or if you can't find it, just reach out and I can send it to you. I don't think I actually have it on YouTube. Interesting. I'll have to go back. But if you're curious about it, I can send you the write up about this eclipse because I'm sure I have that. All right. So yeah, so in this talk, I want to share, the details about the lunar eclipse in Libra, and then we'll close this talk with the oracle reading from my chakra deck. See, I had a little slide there, but yeah. So I'll finish this talk with those things, and then if you're a patron, you're going to receive your personalized readings so that you understand what this eclipse is about and what is it bringing up for you. And if you're curious about that and you're wanting that kind of insight, an ongoing insight, definitely consider to becoming a patron with the link below. So the eclipse happens on Monday, March 25th, this year at 2 a.m. So this is when it goes exact. The eclipse, it starts, let me go back. I thought I had written this down on my notes, but I guess I didn't. This goes, the eclipse starts from midnight to 4 a.m. in the morning. So if you wanted to be awake for that, here in Central Time, definitely, keep your eyes out for that because you will see a bit of it. I think it says considered a prenumbral lunar eclipse or penumbral. Okay, so it's not a total eclipse. It's going to be slightly different from that. And I'm trying to get back to the slide. There we are. And so it's going to be at 5 degrees Libra. And so we want to consider any placements we have near 5 degrees Libra or any of the cardinal signs. So that would be Aries, that would be Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So any of the cardinal signs at 5 degrees, you're going to feel this eclipse more than anyone else. And I just now realized that my Mercury is going to be affected by this too. And yeah, I'm kind of already feeling that. So anyways, I'm already kind of seeing it. My Jupiter and Mercury are going to be affected by this eclipse. So that'll be interesting to see because I spent a lot of time with those planets or doing those planet planetary things with astrology and speaking. So, what does the moon in astrology specifically mean? So that covers our emotions, our intuition, our daily life, the people that we deal with on a daily basis, and just in general, how we relate to cycles, our own inner cycles, the outward cycle seasons. The moon signifies this. And so the eclipses, when we put that on top of the moon, we're seeing some major endings and major beginnings here with how we relate to our emotions, how we relate to people on a daily basis, to our local environment, and what we do like on a day-to-day things. Something might end up being removed. Um, as an optimist, I see it as so that things are become better, but in general, it's just so that things are different because life is not stagnant. It's not about keeping the status quo. It's constantly changing, constantly evolving, constantly, yeah, just kind of like changing things up. And so we are seeing that, especially during the eclipse season. And at times things disappear, and maybe they come back later, maybe they don't near the eclipses. Um, Whenever I was going through the Taurus Scorpio eclipses, that was hitting my place of home and place of career and my reputation. And with that, that made me, um, change the kind of work I was doing. I decided to take astrology even, taking it even more seriously and bringing that to my local environments and I traveled a lot. I've let go of my old ideas of what home could look like, and so my home situation is even different from a year ago. And all of this happened, the story kept developing near the eclipses. And so and that also involved my midhaven and my moon and all that. So like whenever you have personal placements where the eclipses are hitting it or angles, like the first, fourth, seventh, 10th, these are very significant eclipses that will change your life and your perspective, who you think you are, the people you relate to. Yeah, just these core things are being shifted. So it can remove things. To complete my thought, yeah, so like work look different, and so I stopped working for other people and more focused on myself. And then as the eclipse came to a close, I started working with other people again, but still am working for myself. So it was kind of like figuring out the balance of the extremes and bringing them together. Usually you'll find that conclusion towards the end of the eclipses, um, the eclipse series between the two signs. Okay, so specifically, we are having the eclipse in Libra. So Libra is all these keywords here that we see. So this is the refined part of us. This is the charming, the people pleasing, needing to make decisions between two different things, and how that can bring up, indecisions because of feeling like, I want to be nice, I want to be considerate, and again, falling into that people pleasing extreme and making us indecisive. So the eclipses are really highlighting how do we relate to Libra energy in general, and how comfortable are we feeling about initiating ideas in partnership with people? How comfortable do we feel about our intelligence and the information that we um, gather and use and bring justice to our world? How comfortable do we feel about um, deciding, what is right and what is wrong? Do we struggle with being judgmental, or are we, feel weird when people are judging us? May that be right or wrong? How do we relate to Libra in general? And then if you are a Libra person, you have prominent Libra placements, you will feel this more so because this is like your ongoing um, story, and with the eclipses here you're going to feel that those questions more in the forefront for the next um, I want to say several months, but it's till January 2025 until that's when the Pisces and Virgo eclipses series starts to, begins. Or it shifts. The nodes shift into those houses. Um, which actually makes me think about, what brings on the eclipses. So yes, so then the nodes are the lunar nodes. So the north node. Oh no, my mouse is not here. So the lunar nodes, so the north node, south node, whenever the new and full moon gets close to the nodes here, that's when eclipse seasons are happening. And in this case, we have, the sun near the north node here in Aries, the moon near Libra, the south node in Libra. And yeah, so that brings on the eclipses. And they are eclipsing or swallowing the moon and the sun in our perspective from what we can see. In my podcast that I co-host with Andrea and Iris, we're going to talk about what this eclipse season is about. So if you're wanting more insight in my partnership with them, definitely keep a lookout. Sign up for my newsletter so that you can get you're notified about when the podcast is released, or join me on Instagram or Facebook, and you'll know there too. But more so the email, because you're going to get everything. You might miss it on social media. Okay, so yes, the nodes are involved, and they really bring in that eclipse season and bring the focus to those houses that they are in. And with that, so to break this down a little bit more, we have the sun in opposition to the moon, and that just naturally brings on the full moon. And then with it being, conjunct, the moon being conjunct with the south node, that south node has to do with release and karma and spirituality. And with this here, we'll have this effect of like something is being emotionally released. Something has to be let go of um, to hold space for this new realization and understanding of this Libra area of our life. And so think back in October, what has began then? And how does that relate to relationships, partnerships, and how you show up in them? And what emotional release are we having during this eclipse? Because this is significant. This is part of building the story, right? So the sun in opposition to the moon is bringing on some significant emotional insight on who you are as a person now. And the moon will also trine, the moon will also trine Pluto. Pluto and Aquarius. Okay, Pluto and Aquarius here. And that's pretty significant because Pluto has to do with um, upheavals as well. And this is more of it can be more just on the psychological level, but it can be in manifestation, like physical form as well. So like a significant thing can happen that would create an upheaval, significant thing in the Aquarius area of your life. So you want to see where Aquarius rules for you. That creates an upheaval, but at the same time, with it being a trine to the moon, it is supportive in your realization that you have near the eclipse and how you can show up in relationships that are healthy, that are self-preserving, and as well as the relationship, and just honors what you need in relationship. So that is wonderful. But again, with Pluto being, the planet of trauma, the planet of hard truths, we have to be willing to go there with ourselves, so that those hard truths are beneficial. They're revealed, they're there in front of us, and they are supporting us in where we're wanting to go. So I would just say, like, if you do have those moments where things feel chaotic and dramatic and just like even overwhelming, hold space for that because there is um, a truth trying to be revealed that can support you in the long run, especially during eclipse season and the eclipses in Libra Aries area of your life. And so if we do this, right, we're stronger. We are more resilient. And that's to me, that's kind of like the goal of life is to maintain yourself no matter what adversity, the L's that life gives out sometimes, like I kind of think about with Libra, the concern of fair, what is fair? And, I'm still processing this, but I, at the moment, feel like, at least in the short term, life doesn't seem fair. Like you might have been doing all this work, working so hard, and you think you're doing the right things, and things just don't pan out. Relationships fail. The careers that you want don't support your lifestyle. Um, or someone gets sick, and now you have more responsibility, and it just feels like, wow, I've done all this work and trying to prepare and trying to be kind and trying to be nice or whatever. And I still get the L. I still get the loss. I still get this. Life doesn't feel fair. And, it feels like that sometimes, maybe even most times. But I think, looking at this hard truth on who you are and being willing to accept where you are and and who you are, at the same time, where you are and who you are and what you're hoping for. Um, that builds resilience, because you can overcome. I feel nature or life or the universe or God, whatever you believe in, is always trying to conspire in our favor and support us. And um, there are hard lessons with that, but overall, it's looking to help us evolve and become better and support our relationships and our people that we are wanting to be in a relationship with, so that that we can just continue to evolve and do better. And I think that it is the drive of Pluto too, even though it can be hard to see the trauma, hard to understand where the trauma comes from and why we perform a certain way or act a certain way or people act a certain way. But if we're willing to hold space and see that, I think that is where a lot of the magic can happen. And that also leads into how holding compassion. So the ruler of this moon is of Libra, which the moon is in, is Venus. So Venus rules Libra. Hopefully you can follow me there, because I said it a lot. So Venus rules Libra, and the moon is in the sign of Libra. So Libra is the house that the moon is spending time in. Venus owns the house, and she's hanging out in her exalted place, so in her castle in Pisces. And she can give her experiences and resources over to those that are in her house, which is the moon. And Venus is currently exploring the ideas and experiences of compassion in Pisces, and how to hold compassion for yourself, how to hold compassion for others. But with Saturn being there too is needing to be discerning, needing to discern who you hold space with, who are you compassionate towards, who are you sharing your love with, and how are you receiving it? Are you receiving it at all? And so discernment is a really big key player here with the eclipses, because another thing I've been hearing leading up to this eclipse, which is on March 25th. I don't even know if I even said the date, but Sunday, March 25th. People's been getting a lot of offers that they can't refuse, because either they've been preparing for it and now the opportunity has shown up, and that looks like luck, but they've been prepared for it. Um, but they get these offers that they can't refuse. So people are getting into these new relationships, these new partnerships, these new contracts because um, it honors their values, which is another Libra thing. But with Saturn being there, we are having to be discerning on how does this partnership, this relationship supports my dreams and my dreams in the long run. And, is this opportunity trapping me, closing me in, or is it keeping my um, expanding my perspective on what's possible in life and helping me build the appropriate skills to get there? And so Venus, yeah, being there with Saturn, we're asking ourselves these things, and it would be beneficial. And then the day before the eclipse, we have Venus sextile Jupiter. So again, with the opportunity showing up here, they are apparent. They may be even pleasurable, extremely pleasurable, because Jupiter and Taurus senses are appealing, or what are the experiences we have. Our senses are, yeah, we're just like indulging in them, we're enjoying them. And then with that beautiful sextile to Venus, which is another beneficial planet, yeah, we're feeling it. We're really enjoying what is available. But again, with that conjunction Venus to Saturn, we need to be discerning. So March 24th, that sextile to Jupiter brings on an opportunity, perhaps, or just feeling of optimism because of the opportunities you said yes to. And then we got to be discerning on what we do and when we do it and how. So we are in Aries season when we have the lunar eclipse in Libra. And so these are questions that we can think about as we go through Aries season from March 21st to April 19th. What am I passionate about? What gets me fired up? And how am I holding space for this? Um, because with Aries, this is the beginning of the astrological year, and this is like a very entrepreneurial, enterprising sign. And so we are tapping into that kind of energy, and consciously or unconsciously. So we want to make sure that we are aware of what we're passionate about, and that we are putting our energy into it. We're jumping in. So how are we jumping in? What are we doing to champion what it is that we're passionate about is a really big deal. And then we want to be mindful of when we feel impatient, because that is indicating maybe that we're locking up our energy, and it needs to be expressed. And so usually when we have a Mars transit, not Mars is in a Pisces, so there is that tendency of wanting to take action for other people, for the benefit of people, and sometimes at the detriment of ourselves. So we want to be making sure that we're not doing that, but also that if we are experiencing impatience, that we are expressing our energy in a constructive way. And so that is immediate, and that is yeah, it gives us feedback really quickly. And so that could be, exercise. If we are working towards a really long-term plan, things are not going to be immediate, but at least working out, taking care of your body, doing physical things, maybe dancing, because Mars in Pisces, or just playing soccer, moving our feet. I was like kickboxing, doing something that is going to help release our energy and in a constructive way during this time also would be very helpful, because that impatience is a signal that energy is locked and not being utilized when it's readily available and it's there. And if it's not taken care of, that could end up being fights, arguments, rashes breaking out in the body, maybe even specifically in the feet area as a Mars and Pisces, um, or I don't know if it's the lymphatic system that Pisces rules. I think it is. Or the endocrine system as well. So the hormones are being like thrown off. Yeah. So if we are just like moving our body and just like maybe through dancing or, you know, um, the other examples I've given that will help channel out those energies so that it's not locked in your body and creating like hormonal issues and throwing you off your game. So overall, this lunar eclipse is good for major endings and beginnings. So accepting what is coming into your life and holding space for something new. And this is an emotional release with it being a lunar eclipse. So again, there's no need to take action or to like try to be in control, but just practice non-attachment to what is being removed from you, removed from your life, removed from your perspective on life, and we can set an intention to just hold space for that new realization that's coming through and honoring where you are in life and that there is no rush to the plan, because again, the story is building upon itself and we don't need to get bent out of shape to make things happen like it's happening for us. The universe is organizing in itself and it's conspiring in our favor. At least that's what I want to believe. And so let's pull this oracle card to see what chakra we can focus on with the lunar eclipse in Libra. Let's see. Okay, so we have the solar plexus that is being highlighted right now. And this card says prayer. And so the solar plexus, if you work with crystals, you can work with citrine, or you can wear the color yellow more. Eat more yellow foods to strengthen this chakra. But the solar plexus talks about confidence and intelligence and just the willingness to say, here I am. This is what I know. This is what I want to create in my life. This is what I want to see. And prayer is connected to the voice, right? And so I just see like speaking what it is that you're wanting is it's as if like the universe is listening. Like we're in partnership with the universe is what I'm seeing here. More so than, we might recognize or acknowledge throughout our life, but we are in partnership. We are co-creators. I'm sure you've probably heard of that before. Co-creators of the universe. And so prayer, gives us space to articulate what it is that we want to see in our lives, that we want to experience, and helps us understand the power of our own voice and our creative intelligence. So to strengthen the chakra, the solar plexus, I suggest, wearing more citrine, wearing more yellow, um, maybe even going outside more to just enjoy the sun rays will help strengthen your confidence and belief in yourself so that you can co-create what it is that you're wanting as the eclipses are bringing in offers you cannot refuse from people that are really for you and you have that discernment, right? So that's what I have for you today. If you are wanting to get a more personalized reading, like you're just wanting to know specifically what is the moon bringing up for you based off of your chart, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. I have the link below. And so that is there for you. I hope that you have a wonderful lunar eclipse in Libra. And I hope this talk was helpful to just kind of get your mind thinking in a certain direction. Other than that, I will see you next time. All right. Take care. Bye.